BMW 2 Series Convertible 2015 Car Review. This is the all-new BMW 2 Series Convertible, and as the name suggests, it's a convertible version of the 2 Series Coupe. Set to take on the likes of the Audi A3 Cabriolet and Vauxhall's Cascada, this new model fills yet another niche in BMW's ever-expanding lineup. It replaces the 1 Series Convertible, which sold in huge numbers, and for the first time BMW is launching a performance M235i version to sit at the top of the range. Longer and wider than the 1 Series Convertible, there's more space to play with now, both in terms of cabin and boot, the latter measuring 335 litres, so 30 litres up over the 1 Series drop-top it's replacing. The electric fabric roof opens or closes in 20 seconds, and features more insulation and better aerodynamics to make for a quieter ride with the hood in place. A new wind deflector helps prevent buffeting when the roof is down. Performance. As with most cabriolet cars, BMW 2 Series Convertible performance is measured out by a brilliant range of petrol engines, but there's also a diesel for the lowest possible running costs. Does diesel drop-top sound a little odd? Well, think again. This particular engine is fantastic. Each engine is available with either a 6-speed manual or 8-speed automatic gearbox. While the former has a fairly slick though a little notchy operation, in an ideal world it's the latter we pick for the convertible car, since it's far more relaxed to drive and seems to suit it better. Keen enthusiast drivers may want the manual gearbox, but they'll also prefer the Coupe 2 Series and its slightly more engaging handling. All 2 Series convertibles also get drive performance control. This is a switch by the gear lever which allows the driver to select modes for various types of driving: Eco Pro for more efficient driving, Comfort for an easier to drive experience, and Sport for faster driving. It alters systems such as the power steering weighting, throttle response, gear change speed and even suspension firmness if adaptive dampers are installed. Diesel power. We're expecting the most popular engine to be the 220D, which is the only diesel in offer. It's actually a new version of the 2-litre engine found in many other BMW products, and we are both happy and a little surprised to report it's absolutely excellent. It feels highly responsive to throttle inputs, presumably thanks to the high-touch turbocharging system employed. And its power delivery begins at low revs, which means you don't have to change gear too often. We noticed it was a very smooth engine too, without any of the clattering associated with older-fashioned diesel engines. Its 188 bhp and 400 Nm of torque translate to 0.62 mph in 7.5 seconds for the manual and 7.4 seconds with the automatic. We've only driven the former, but found it to be a very rewarding car to drive. That's not something we say very often when it comes to diesels. Petrol power. The best engine for keen drivers is undoubtedly the M235i, a bespoke model built as a performance variant. This car features a 3-litre, 6-cylinder turbocharged engine with 322 bhp and 450 Nm of torque. Crucially, though, the M235i is an absolute peach to drive. It's highly responsive, sounds fantastic and isn't even too bad on fuel. Its performance figures include a dash from 0.62 mph in 5 seconds flat or 5.2 for the manual, and a top speed electronically pegged at 155 mph. While the manual car will attract keen drivers, the automatic has its appeal in this respect too. There's a launch control function which allows you to make the optimum getaway from a standstill. There's another pair of petrol engines on offer at launch and one more set to follow during the remainder of 2015. The 220i uses a 2-litre with 182 bhp and 270 Nm, which means a dash from 0.62 mph in 7.5 seconds or 7.6 with the automatic, while the 228 has 243 bhp and 350 Nm, covering 0.62 mph in 6 seconds flat with the automatic gearbox or 6.1 seconds with the manual. We've not driven these engines yet. We're expecting a clever 3-cylinder 1.5-litre petrol engine to arrive at some point too. It'll have 134 bhp and is also found in the i8 supercar. Handling. The first thing to note about the handling of the 2 Series convertible is that it's very slightly less engaging than the coupe, but we doubt very much whether 99% of drivers are going to notice this. There's slightly more flex in the car thanks to the lack of roof, but BMW has done all it can to address the issue and the result is a car that still feels great to drive. Its steering is worthy of special mention. It's very nicely weighted and very communicative too, thanks in part to the fact this car is rear-wheel drive where all its main rivals are front or occasionally four-wheel drive. It makes for a purer driving experience. Body roll is kept in check fairly well, while the addition of adaptive suspension, which BMW believes will be a popular option, means you can have the car configured for comfortable or sport driving at the touch of a button. There's even a Sport Plus setting on cars at Sport trim or above, which adjusts the traction control system to allow a little more wheel spin for more driver engagement. Another feature worth mentioning here is the rear parking sensors. They're standard fitment, which is a result on any car, but especially so if you're still operating the roof as you park. This is made possible thanks to the electric fabric roof, which will open at speeds of up to 30 miles per hour. Equipment. There are 4 trim levels on offer here: Sport, Luxury and M Sport, a separate trim for the M235i hot hatch along with a vast array of optional extras, some far more essential than others. Standard BMW 2 Series convertible equipment. At the bottom of the range you find say specification, but it still comes generously equipped. There are 17-inch alloy wheels, Bluetooth and USB jacks, DAB digital radio, the iDrive rotary multimedia system controller, a 6.5-inch screen in the dash, heated electric door mirrors, rear parking sensors, automatic lights and wipers, a sliding front armrest, air conditioning, fog lights and a multifunction sports steering wheel. You also get BMW's drive performance control switch, which changes the characteristics of the engine, steering, automatic gearbox where fitted and adaptive suspension if installed. Moving up to Sport trim adds the Sport Plus handling mode to the above, different 17-inch alloys, black high-gloss interior trim along with sports seats finished in cloth fabric. A move up to Luxury means the addition of 18-inch alloys and leather upholstery with a dark pearl interior trim. The top spec model is known as M Sport, and this means different 18-inch wheels along with cloth and Alcantara upholstery, a body kit, a sporty steering wheel and M Sport suspension. Finally, the M235i performance model gets some bespoke equipment such as a body kit, leather seating, xenon headlights, M Sport brakes, unique 18-inch alloys and variable sports steering. Optional BMW 2 Series convertible accessories. As ever with BMW, there's a huge range of optional extras on offer, but there are a couple we'd seriously consider if it were our money. First of all, the wind deflector is an absolute must if you drive with the roof down often, and why wouldn't you? It's a convertible, after all. It's a similar story with heated front seats and a heated steering wheel. They simply extend the amount of drives you have with the top down. We'd also go for the adaptive suspension to strike a great balance between comfort and performance. There's an M Sport Plus package available for M Sport trim cars, which adds grey alloys along with headlight washers, a high-spec speaker system, M Sport brakes, xenon headlights and a grey windscreen shade band. Other packages include the Driver Comfort Pack, which includes adaptive cruise control and front and rear parking sensors, and the Interior Comfort Pack, which includes extended cabin storage along with better interior lighting and automatic aircon. You can pick from a variety of HIF and infotainment systems, headlights, electric seats, lane keeping assist and myriad trims or interior finishes. Comfort. The most impressive thing about BMW 2 Series convertible comfort levels is they're almost as impressive as the coupe, even with the roof up. That's thanks to a roof which has 3 layers of fabric, meaning it's 31% more insulating than the old 1 Series convertible. BMW has done work on the seals of the roof too, and ditto the car's overall aerodynamic profile, which means there's far less wind noise than you'd expect considering the roof's fabric construction. Even if you flick the switch and wait 19 seconds to put the roof down, you're going to be very impressed with how peaceful things are in the cabin. A high window line means even 6-footers can travel with the roof down in comfort without worrying their hair is going to look hilarious at their destination. There's a big but here though, you'll need to buy the optional folding wind deflector. If you don't, expect a memorable hairstyle upon arrival and a blustery cabin to boot. Those looking for a car with multiple personalities in this department could do worse than the optional adaptive suspension too, since its comfort mode makes things better still. We were impressed by the cabin insulation but also with the seating on offer up front. It's very supportive and we found them to be excellent. We'd suggest the heated option and a heated steering wheel too, if you're planning on a lot of top-down motoring. Practicality. As with many fabric-roof cars, BMW 2 Series convertible practicality is affected if you want to get the top down. Boot space is 220 litres in this situation, rising to 335 litres maximum capacity. An optional load-through hatch in between the rear seats will allow longer items, such as golf bags, to be loaded into the boot. There are some handy nets in the boot too which will help keep smaller items from rolling around. The cabin itself will seat 4 people fairly comfortably when the roof is down, but carrying rear seat passengers means you can't have the wind deflector installed, so all 4 of you will have to be prepared for a blustery experience. Safety. Just like the coupe, BMW 2 Series convertible safety has yet to be independently tested by Euro NCAP. However, it is heavily based on the current BMW 1 Series, which was thrown into a concrete block by the body back in 2012. Back then the hatchback scored a full 5 stars, and it's fair to assume the 2 Series convertible would achieve a similar result. Torsional stiffness has been improved by 20% over the previous 1 Series convertible. The A-pillars have strengthening elements built in and the rollover bars behind the rear seats are triggered automatically in the event of the car beginning to overturn. An active bonnet, which projects itself away from the engine block, protects pedestrians if you hit a pedestrian. 6 airbags are standard, as are ISOFIX child seat attachments on the rear bench. Reliability. Much of the engines are used elsewhere in the range, so we'd expect in the main that BMW 2 Series convertible reliability will be very good. Certainly, there's no reports of any problems with the drivetrains used anywhere else, and we'd expect the car to continue the firm's good reputation for reliability. The roof is excellently engineered too, and there's little shake through the car's structure when it is being opened or closed, even when on the move. Plenty of insulation, and the resulting lack of external noise on the move, points to it being a quality item too. Choose the color of your cabin wisely though, as lighter leather colors won't wear as well as the darker tones. At least each features a dashboard and switchgear that are robust and, like the coupe, will likely stand up to the rigors of daily life.
Yeah.